What up, everybody? It's your boy Erons, and I'm here on Chat with Erons. I'm with someone very, very special, like a big celebrity. Oh my god! And he's so humble. He left everything he's doing just to be in this show. Actually, he's in the biggest show in New Zealand now. So we're here, and he's going to tell us many things that's happening in the industry. Well, I know you don't want to miss that.
Hey, what's good? I'm Chi Nonso, hanging out with Erons.
He's in the biggest show in New Zealand.
Yes, I've been washed. No mind out.
He's in the biggest show in New Zealand. I dropped the poster on. I must say you're very, very humble. You're very, very humble. For your personality, you're very humble. I dropped some posters online and I was like, hey, what up? The next person on my show is Chi Nonso. His fans, do you want to ask questions? And bro, you have a lot of fans, you know. You have a lot of fans. But first, what's your background like? Like, tell me about your background. Where are you from?
Yeah, I am from Imo State on my father's side.
Okay.
And Anambra State on my mother's side. And that is a strange way to introduce, but I learned it from here because like I love this thing where the Maori do, where they introduce, they whakapapa to their fathers and their mother's side, and I think it's pretty cool because, you know how we do it back home. It's your father's kid, right? But man, it should kind of go. Exactly. If you even check DNA itself, like
your mom
wants to
side.
give you more. Exactly. You know how it is. So that's kind of my heritage. So Igbo to the core.
Yeah. Shout out to the Igbos.
You know what's up. Born in Enugu. Started a little bit there. Like the whole family were there for a bit, and then we moved around a little bit, and then landed in Aba. That's where I did.
You lived in Aba?
Yes, all my formative years were spent there. And then as an adult, went back to Enugu and eventually Lagos.
Lagos, you stayed in Lagos?
So I was in Lagos for about, I want to say 4 years.
4 years.
Before I came out here.
So what year did you come here?
2015.
I was in GS1.
Hey, Jesus.
That's not really...
Not too surprising, because in another life, like you know how NYC, you did your NYC, I assume.
Yeah. I didn't do NYC.
You didn't? Okay. So when you do your NYC, you get to teach, most people teach.
Yeah, you were teaching me.
You work in, I taught people older than you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
So, how did the first questions all your fans were asking, how do you get your lyrics?
For the most part, like lyrics don't come very easily to me.
That's melodies.
Melodies kind of come more naturally for me. And then there's usually one line or something, like a couple of lines that you get first that I sit with for a long time, and I'm happy for them to just sit there and be the only lyrics for a while. Okay, so and then eventually,
give me your hardest lyrics.
Ooh, I would say Siteta.
Siteta?
Yes.
What's the meaning of that?
So, because on the song, it was, geez. Bro, why are you doing this to me so early in the morning, bro?
Hey, it's your word.
So, the bass line came first, and then eventually, when the lyrics started coming, what I tried to say in it was something that I was really they knocked that time. You understand? Like it was quite hard, and I wanted to.
Do you want to tell us a bit more?
I probably won't give you the context of it, but I will just talk about what the lyrics actually mean. So basically, it's about reclamation, like owning your stuff, and that stuff could be something physical, or it could be something, like it could be a symbol. So there was a particular bit that when it came, I was like, okay, this is the song. This is the core of the song. There's a bit where I say, some will push you off a cliff just to hold your hand and tell you how much you need them.
Hey.
And that particular point was the reason for the rest of the song.
No, you go listen to that song. That song is a banger. So. What would you say, who's Fela to you? Because I don't know why you said I should ask you that question, but who is Fela to you? Because looking at your Instagram, some of your lyrics, there was a time you even wore a shirt of his face. That's deep.
I just so about wore a shirt of his face today as well.
Today? Thank God you didn't do it, because can you ask him, who is Fela to him? So who's Fela to you?
Fela Baba Fela.
Baba Fela.
Baba Fela was a visionary who, I mean, the whole world gives him his flowers now, but growing up, he was one of those names that you couldn't miss. He was definitely, he was that sound you heard on the bus. You know, he was everywhere.
Water.
Exactly.
You don't get any
So, and I didn't, to be honest, I didn't fully appreciate his music. Immediately, like while it was everywhere, it was just kind of part of, I guess, part of the atmosphere.
Life,
exactly. But it was retrospectively, like looking back, I then started appreciating his music more.
What he did for the culture.
Especially going by younger generations who were referencing him, and I didn't even know. For example, say them Two-Face, like Plantation Boys, right? They do some, some chants like that. You're like, hey, I love this thing with Two-Face and different. Hey, and then eventually you see, it's a reference back to
like a Burna Boy that I see. Oh dear, oh God!
It's all references, and that's like. But the first thing you hear about him is his activism. That's the first thing everyone knows. Like everyone, I just knew that bit that the government were after him because of his activism, and so he's definitely someone that I really
look up to.
Love the legacy he's left behind in terms of activism in Nigeria and all of that. He didn't have to. He chose to, and I love that. I also, one thing I really love about him, which is I guess it's not peculiar to him, it's kind of part of the culture, is that we can make you dance while talking some really hard shit,
That's true.
So like he did shake your gosh like this, no say what did the guy did talk, they enter, you understand? Like dude was singing, dude was literally saying them kill my mama and everybody did dance.
Everyone does it.
It's like
he made music so easy.
It's tragic, but at the same time it caters to more than one thing, which is something that a tradition that I guess precedes him and has also continued after him. So
they knew you were gonna say all this, so they asked, who is he to you? You haven't answered the question. Who is he to you? Is he your mentor?
If I want to keep the cut him short, he's an inspiration. He's an inspiration. Yes, he's a solid inspiration, especially when it comes to lyrics having purpose, like music having a purpose, that sort of thing. He's an inspiration.
What's the genre of music?
Ooh, no, not the wayekest question of all, like the wayekest. Geez, I know it's Afro, right? And I know that
Wizkid said something recently. He said, not every African artist is an Afrobeat artist.
Yeah, I'm definitely not an Afrobeat artist.
Because everybody see, for you're an African artist, you're an Afrobeat. No, we have this thing in us. We can do R&B, we can do everything, but don't lock us inside the box saying we are all Afrobeat artists. No.
True.
So are you an Afrobeat artist or you're an African artist?
I am not an Afrobeat artist. If you go by the meaning of that genre, like the way it's been defined in so many articles and stuff, no. But my sound is Afro. Obviously, it echoes back to Afrobeat, not Afrobeats like the more modern contemporary stuff, but Afrobeat like Freedom Fela echoes to that tradition in terms of using a mix of like this. He goes heavy on keys, and then he's got a brass section, and oof. Sorry, I just had to fanboy. So
go on.
Yeah, that aspect of it, I love. You can also hear it in high life as well, which all of them kind of, if you want to put them under one umbrella, you can call them Afro, right? So that Afro tradition, I definitely pull from. But I also listen to a whole lot of soul and R&B.
Nice.
So like at the same time Fela was happening, Stevie Wonder was happening, and all of these other
Stevie Wonder.
Marvin Gaye and all the other guys. So I listen to a whole lot of that, and you can hear the influence in my singing as well. So if you marry both of them, if you ask me personally, I'd say Afro Soul.
Afro Soul.
Afro Soul is how I personally identify my music.
Nice. What does African music mean to you?
Everything. Everything. It's a celebration of joy. It's a celebration of life in its full circle. It's celebratory first, but it also is very purposeful. Like, bruh, if you go home for a funeral, there's going to be music there, right? There's traditionally even there's music that caters to things like funeral, where like in my father's side of the family, there's something we call essay. So it's a particular dance that is done specifically for funerals of usually elderly men and stuff in your family. And so it's about, there's a drum, there's the first son of the family comes forward, and everyone lines up behind him to support him. And you're basically interacting with the drums, and they're asking you what your father did, and you're basically reeling out how many times have I said basically now? So reeling out your father's legacy to the beat. One day, it doesn't get better than that. It does not get better than that. So, and that's only for one aspect of life, Yeah.
How does the culture represent you? Like Burna Boy in his new album said, I ain't gonna even lie, I used to call myself an ugly, when he was saying your race, the culture, they always look down on African culture before.
Yeah.
But now that you're seeing people rising up, like, bro, we have everything you don't have. So how does the culture represent you, your music and everything?
I'm trying to see if I can wrap my head around that question fully. So, how does the culture that I am from represent me, or how I
met so many artists, African artists, living outside Africa.
Yes.
They'll be like, nah, it's just the Africans just support my music. They don't understand what I'm saying. That's a culture. So how does the culture represent you?
Oof. Bruh, like, even without being a musician, just by virtue of being Igbo, by virtue of being Nigerian, African, right? I embody the culture anywhere I am. And it's also the other way around, right? So before you hear me speak, you already know, you can kind of sort of put me somewhere, right? And then when I do speak, when I do play music, you see a bit of that culture, but also it works in reverse. So whatever the culture is up to, in this case, it's kind of making, it's rounds around the world. Whatever the culture is up to gets ascribed onto me. And that's the good and the bad as well. I mean, bruh, you know how it is, like at the airport where you get pulled aside sometimes. That is people projecting onto you what they think your culture is emblematic of. So,
because that's what I'm saying. I've seen artists that be like, nah, you live here, get out.
They don't know what's up. they don't know what's up.
Who do you look forward to in African music?
Oh, I'm really excited about. Like what the much younger people, recent artists are doing with music. I love how they are collaborating.
You mentioned like 5 people?
Oh no! If you want me on names, no, bruh. I won't name names. But like, I love how personally, right? I love this whole kind of callback that's happening between, say, Africans in Africa, whether it's West Africa, South Africa, that sort of thing. Reaching out to African Americans, and then there's the Black Caribbeans as well. So there's this triangle, you understand, and everybody just really work on that triangle. And of course, you've got other people as well who appreciate the culture from different other cultural backgrounds as well. I really love that there's a lot of that happening with younger folk.
So this question, you have to answer it systematically. I don't know who wrote down this question, but it's actually... So they're saying, how does your music affect an average African man?
Oh.
Because your lyrics, your lyrics are, ain't gonna lie, they're gonna rank your lyrics out of 10, it's 10 over 10. You give words that, like, just what you said, you have to push me down the cliff just to hold my head. Like, you give us words that they perch in our soul. So they're asking you now, for you to drop those words, there's a motive behind it. So how does your music affect an average African man?
To be brutally honest, my brother, I don't know. I do not know. I haven't done that research, and I don't know. But I do know, though, how I hope it affects everyone who listens to it, right?
Okay.
And how I hope it affects them is the same way that I was affected by all the music that I grew up listening to, right? And so for some of them, it was the lyrics. for some of them, I also happen to really love hip hop, by the way.
Yeah.
So like for some of them it's the lyrics. For some of them it's just the beats, bruh.
Yeah.
For others, like as a singer, there are so many other songs that I ask me waiting in the talk. I don't even know.
Don't know, but you just like the beat.
I love I love the melody. I love the harmony. Like I'm a sucker for the harmonies. I grew up singing in church and all of that. So.
Oh, you grew up in church?
Yeah, I sang a bit in church, my brother.
All of you that ran from the church.
Yeah, like, but all of those different things that appealed to me in music that I listened to, I kind of try to channel a little bit of all of those, and I'm hoping that that's the same influence it has on someone. I hope someone hears it, and even if you know they understand Pidgin, because I do a bit of Pidgin in my songs and a bit of Igbo. I hope you hear something melodic that you love.
Yeah,
something,
okay. So talking about promoting the African culture, how will it affect an average man?
Again,
can they compare your songs to other race? Not even Africa. You're promoting African culture.
Yeah.
So can they listen to other songs and like, nah, my brother's better? They bring up your song. Can they do it?
Again, this is something that would have to be on the other person, who's listening to it to decide.
But from your production, you know, like when Whiskey dropped Essence, he said that shit's gonna be a banger even before it was released. So you're supposed to know from your production.
So if it's about the quality of production, that's a very specific question that I can answer. I am. If I do say so myself, I'm very proud of the people that I've been able to work with, right? One of them happens to be another Nigerian dude here, Masbo Q. You might have heard
that's the next question they asked about.
So that guy, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. So, if you think you feel him because he's a rap scientist, you need to wait until you work with him in the studio, or at least just observe him work. We're gonna do this in the studio with him, but I didn't want to cut into our studio time, right? That's the only reason I didn't invite you there. Like, you actually see the genius of this bro. He is amazing at what he does. He's amazing at listening. He's amazing at putting down, the notes and all that.
I met him before, and he was like, so when I was trying to create tunes, I told him, what do you feel I can do? He was like, that people in this region will like.
Yeah.
He's so intelligent that he told me, you're already looking down on yourself, telling me you want to do things that you want all of this region to like. I was like,
you got to think bigger.
He told me, can you hear yourself? He said, do things that you want the world to hear, not your region. I was like, bruh.
That there is part of what I'm saying. The fact that he's not producing so you can get a buzz here in New Zealand. He's trying to do it, like, he's not trying, he's actually doing it to whatever standard. You can hold it up and hold your head high and say, this guy did stuff. And that's on the production side of things. When it comes to the actual, like, because I love live instruments, I get quite a few session musicians to play on my songs. Bruh, the people that I work with, I couldn't actually afford to pay them. That is how good they are. When you talk about guitarists, when you talk about drama,
Mavs plays for
drama,
you. Mavs.
Mavs. You've got people like Adam Tobek on drums. Like I've been privileged to call on these.
I'm a drummer now.
guys.
Call me next time.
Right, we go see her. We go see. So like,
I had a song with you on Masbo. How did you come together?
Which one? Because we've done a couple.
See, the last one you put in the
physiology. No.
I've always posted that song on my Instagram because
no. Actually, that wasn't Masbo Key. That was Podiso, my brother from Botswana. He's another incredible dude I've been lucky to work with. Man, I don't mean people shout, like, people.
That's why you're one of the biggest, bro.
But yeah, so he's an amazing rapper as well, and we've actually done. Shortly after I met Masbo Q for the first time, we actually did a song together, all three of us. So me, Podiso, and Masbo Q, back when he went by Unchained Excel. So like, we've collaborated. What was your initial question again, brother?
So like, how did the song come together?
If it's that solo one specifically, it must have been around the pandemic, when sometime around then, when the world.
Can your manager help you? Do you know when the song came together?
Solo. I remember actually. I remember it was around the pandemic, and he sent me like the demo of it at the beat. Right, Masbo Q? All right. So he view and said view. Sorry. Right. Yes. So that's true. So I wasn't in the studio with them for any of it. He just sent the beat to me, and told me where to go.
How do you produce your songs? Is it like, I worked with so many musicians and they can just sit down and start. You just hear a sound, they just start singing, and you're like, this shit is a banger, and they get to sing. So how do you produce yours?
Similarly to what you've described, like it comes at odd
Did you
times
learn music
sometimes.
as a talent?
I didn't learn. I wish I did. I wish. I really wish. Just because it would have been very helpful for rehearsals and stuff.
Yeah.
To be able to communicate to other guys, that sort of thing.
So,
But yeah, it was mostly just as a child I sang in the choir. Most of my siblings did actually. So
how many siblings do you have?
4.
4.
Yeah, I'm the 4th of 5. So for me, it's usually some idea comes, and if I'm lucky enough to be free at the time, I record a voice note. I've got my phone's full of voice notes. I record a voice note of just some silly sounds and all of that. Some of them have no legs. They never learn to walk, let alone fly. And then eventually, some of them get developed into proper songs. Yeah.
So, where do you see yourself in the next 3 years?
We've got some things on the to-do. There's a couple of festivals we're looking at doing. So, like in New Zealand here, I've played Splore with 2 bands.
I don't mean your past.
No, hang on. I'm coming.
We know about your past. It's
I'm-
everywhere.
My bro, this is how elders talk. We go around and we come to the point. So I played Splore in the past with a couple of bands.
Okay.
I'd like to play it as Chi Nonso.
That's tunes.
Yeah, so I've played it as a frontman for a band. So I'd like to play it as a solo act. It'd be amazing to do that, to get an opportunity to do that. I've also got my eyes on other festivals as well.
So, on the scale of 10, how big will you get? You're already big, so how will you get the next 3 years? Grammy nomination, headlining, Coachella.
I'm going to do a politician on you and flip that question around and tell you what I really want out of the music thing, right? As opposed to what laurels I want to get from it. So for me personally, there's stuff that I need to say and I want to say them in music, right? Yeah. And once I've said this,
Fela is really influencing you.
Once I've had my say, I'd also like to be able to play certain festivals that I really like. I love live performance. I live for live performance. So there's a couple of things I want to be able to do at festivals. We've like I said, we've been looking at a couple already, and it'd be great if I could do some festivals here. I've got a couple of places in mind, WOMAD and stuff. There's WOMAD. I've got my eyes on it. I've been to WOMAD twice. I want to go back to WOMAD as a performer. It'd be nice to play in Australia as well. They've got a couple of they do WOMAD in Australia as well, don't they? Yeah, right. So I've got my eyes on a couple of those festivals. It'd be also really nice to play some festivals as well in Europe. How petty can I get? Would you like me to get really petty?
Yeah, say
so, I'd go talk this part for PJ. Vex, they catch me with waiting in the column. These people, England people, London. Because one time when I've been trying go visit person, they no agree give me visa. So I go back there to go play music like una papa there. No, but like on a serious note, I'd like to do some festivals in Europe as well.
So your fans are saying, how did Ijebu band affect your career? Did it promote your career or brought it down?
So it's funny you should ask that right after I mentioned going to see Shehu Kuti.
Yeah.
So when Shehu Kuti came to New Zealand to play WOMAD, the guy who pieced the Ijebu Pleasure Club band together, Ben McNichol, was at WOMAD as well. He came specifically to see Shehu Kuti, and he sought Shehu Kuti's blessing to start the band. Like, I want to do Afrobeats, that type of thing, and I'd like I would be wanting to play covers of your father's songs and stuff. And we were meant to go in and do that chat together, but for reasons I shall not mention, I was not available. So yeah, anywho, so that band was definitely me dipping my toe in the music scene, in the pool of New Zealand music scene, sort of. It was how I got to meet some of the people that I worked with, including Masbo Q. No, he didn't sing in the band or anything, but like he came to see the band, and that's how we connected. So it was definitely the beginning of everything music I've done in New Zealand so far. It was a good
accepted,
start.
like they promoted a bit of a career.
Oh yes.
Nice.
I still, some of the people that I worked with then, I still work with to this day. Even the cover art that for my EP that was put out last year was done by somebody from the band.
Oh.
Like he was like, I want to do something for you, that sort of thing. It was, so they are really lovely humans that I've been opportunity to work with, and
I listened to your songs. Like I went researching about your songs. I heard a lot of songs, and I went to watch your live performance.
Yeah.
If you had to rate your songs, they rate your songs like 80 over 20. If they to rate your performance, they rate your performance 110 over 100. What's the spirit?
This guy did wash.
What's the
I'll explain what washing is to you later.
What's the spirit behind you performing? It's like you're on another level when you're on that stage, bruh. You don't see yourself, but we watching you, we're like, brother, relax. There's one performance you're wearing a white shirt, bruh. The pitch you were climbing, even the keyboard was like, I can't even fight. No. So what's the spirit behind you performing?
Thanks for the flattery.
Give us. If it's a location, let's go. Let them give us that spirit.
Thanks for the flattery. Like I mentioned earlier, I love performing. I just love being on stage and singing, right? So for me, a whole lot of that. I'm not the most extroverted person I know. I tend to keep to myself, but on stage, I feel like I can let loose a lot. So yeah, and I do that on stage. I try to let loose. So it's an exercise in freeing yourself, that sort of thing. That's where that's from. But also there's a whole lot of traditions, like whole lot of big shoulders to stand on. Like people have done it better than you over and over and over and over again for generations, and you can only just look at them in awe and hope that you can replicate some of what you were influenced by. That's it. To keep it simple, yeah.
So these are personal questions.
Okay.
Do you want your manager to answer them with you?
Just shoot, bro. Anyone I don't want to answer, I won't.
So first, do you feel your music is accepted in this region?
Instinctively, I want to say yes.
Yes.
I want to say yes. But the reason I paused is because I thought, does it actually really matter?
Yeah, it matters.
Chill, I didn't come. So what I mean by does it matter is, would I be doing it regardless, even if it weren't accepted?
Yeah.
I would. That's what I mean by does it actually matter? Of course it matters. It matters. Like it makes a huge difference whether or not people want to see what you're doing, right? But even if not very many people cared for it, I'd still be doing it, because the drive is not. The reward isn't in people showing up to it. The reward is in all of the duties it has to perform, which we could talk about that for a whole day. But yes, I feel incredibly lucky in the sense that I feel my music gets appreciated when I put it out, especially when I'm performing live. I feel like there's lots of people, not even all of them Africans. There's lots of, you look in the crowd and you see lots of other musicians from other cultures, could be Asian, could be Pakeha, could be Maori or Pacifica. You see lots of people who tap into, the African scene or my music specifically. Yeah.
Nice. On a scale of 1 to 10, how has the African supported the music? You're promoting
Okay.
the African culture.
Okay.
So either you're giving me 10%
So-
or they haven't supported you
So
because
scale of 1 to 10, right?
yeah, no, is that 10 or 10?
I want to say 21. 21 because 21 is a sweet number. It's my birth date. So, but yeah, like more than 10, absolutely. My manager is African, right? My best collaborations. I don't even know that I've done any other collaborations outside of with African folk yet. But yeah, like the people who've held me up, who've been like, bro, you need to keep going, you know, have always been Africans. Look in the crowd, there's usually Africans who, some of whom aren't even from West Africa, you know, who are like, yeah, we've heard your stuff and we appreciate what you're doing, you know? So yeah, like literally without the Africans here in Aotearoa, there would be no Chi Nonso, you know? Yes,
True.
and then it then it's beautiful too when you have people from outside of Africa collaborating as well and holding you up and wanting to be
Which leads to
part
the
of
next
what you're
question.
doing.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, the non-Africans, how do they support the music?
Again, I can only speak for myself. What I'm saying does not necessarily apply for, like, it might not really be the same for
You get the
experience
review, your
of
Spotify shows the review.
Yeah,
Shows
it might not be the
country's
experience of
region,
other African artists here is what I'm saying, which would not be like a negation of their own experience
true,
in music. But for me personally, I've been very, very lucky. I think I just win jackpots for like when it comes to friendships and connections, right? Like I tend to meet the best humans that there are out there. So I have really solid hands propping me up in terms of just either it's session musicians, like I mentioned earlier, you know, incredible musicians who could be playing on the world and do play on the world stage with lots of big artists. So you know, when the big names from the US come down here to the world down under, they do work with musicians here, right? So some of the people that they work with, some of the bands that open for them and stuff, I have the privilege of working with some of those musicians, right?
True,
So yeah, like my drummer isn't like, I call him my drummer. He's not my drummer. He's a drummer that I am privileged to work with sometimes, right? So I have a drummer I work with who sometimes can't make some of my gigs because he's playing tours in wherever. Do you know what I mean? Like he's doing much bigger shows than me, but he still, when he's available, you know, comes and does the thing with me. So that is luck, you know. So I have that. We've got my bro Tabani. That's an African dude, but there are so many other non-African guys who tap in, who are like top notch in what they do, and they feel a need to contribute, to collaborate with you. I hate to sound cliched, but I feel blessed in that regard.
No, it's not. So, what's your inspiration in music? What's your inspiration when it comes to music?
Music is the one thing that I can look to and say, it's the reason to get out of bed for me, right? So,
Fact. That word is deep. The reason for you to get out of bed.
Everyone kind of needs one, right?
Yeah.
And some people search for it for a long time, like throughout their lives even. I'm one of those lucky ones who got that from a really early age, right? From a very, very young age, I knew it was the thing, right? So I feel like I started doing it because I just had to. Like, it's like, how do you not breathe?
Sure.
But it's, as I've gotten older, it's the motivation has morphed, has, you know, kind of evolved. And I feel like at this stage in my life, I'm not just doing it for myself, I'm also doing it for, this sounds so unoriginal, but I'm doing it for my son. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if tomorrow he finds his one thing, right? And you know, he's dealing with all the obstacles, natural obstacles life throws at you. I can, because of having done what I'm doing, I can then look at him and go, nah, you have to keep pushing. It's worth it, you know? Like, do the best and enjoy the journey along the way, you know, that sort of thing. So I feel like in order to be able to have that, to give him that advice and have that be authentic, I kind of have to do what I'm doing.
True.
So yeah, that's a new reason.
How old
for
is your son?
the music. He's 6.
6. No?
Yeah. So there's definitely a little bit of that as
Music. You said
What
music is
music
an
is for me.
expression
so it is.
of feeling, or rather, music is a picture that paints every phase of your life. So, what phase are you painting now? And who can relate to the phase you are painting?
I'll start from the last one, which is anybody who get ears, anyone with a pair of ears or hearing aids and a heart to feel it, I hope, is the person who can potentially relate to what I'm doing. And the other bit where, what am I painting?
Yeah, so what phase are you painting now?
So what I'm trying to do is basically mirror life, which is what art is meant to do anywho, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to mirror life in it, but I'm concentrating, obviously, I forget how it's said, but where it's supposed to be, art is meant to be a representation of life with all the boring parts cut off, you know? I'm focusing on the parts that are important for me. So that's how I interpret that whole cutting out the boring bits. I'm focusing on that, and for me, what it is, the things that are important are things like love in whichever way you want to look at it, whether it's romantic love or familial love, or love, pain, because pain is a whole part of us as humans, right? Joy, these sorts of emotions. Those are the things that and if you've ever felt any of these emotions, I hope you can connect to my music. That's it.
So, which people do you feel can relate to your last EP? Which set of people?
So the first audience, primary audience.
Primary audience, yeah.
Nah.
Take us to the tertiary audience.
People we like harmonies and stuff. People who love harmonies and singing and all of that stuff. Those are and somewhere inside the nucleus of that, my family, right? And when I say family, I mean like my family of origin specifically.
Yeah.
Those are like in the innermost circle of that. So musicians and family. Those are like the first audience. Then the next row of audience, I hope, are people who've ever sort of like put one foot on one culture and another foot on a different culture. So whether in I'll use the Nigerian sense first to explain that. So whether in a Nigerian sense, whether it's like you are from the southeast and your family moved to Lagos, so the southwest, so you've straddled two cultures essentially there. You're introduced to the Lagos life, carrying with you as well your southeast Igbo or Efik heritage, that sort of thing. Then you can relate, right? On an international scene, that could be you move from one country to another. You're experiencing two different cultures like that. Or in your household, popsies from a different culture to momsy, that sort of thing. So if you know what it is or you've experienced it by having a best friend who's from a different culture to you, then you can sort of relate. That's the next row of audience. And I guess I can extrapolate that to so many other different kinds of audiences.
In every song, there's a message passed.
Guy, I got chop your marshmallow.
Then you can have it. In
They tempt me. Sorry.
In every song, there's a message passed to the audience, to the listeners. So, what is your message to your fans in all your songs?
Oh, they vary, bruh.
Yeah. Okay.
They're different. No, just they wipe my fingertips. All good. Yeah, they vary, bruh. I tend to, and this is very old school, I guess, like thinking of a whole collection of, like a body of work. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Yeah. So for the EP Cola Nuts and Chardonnay, it was a body of work that I, just like I explained a couple minutes ago, I wanted it to be about straddling two cultures. Na symbol, like kola nuts. You know kola nuts, like, hey, from our Igbo culture, kola nuts for like welcoming guests and stuff like that. And then Chardonnay was meant to be emblematic of like, did I just say emblematic? Symbolic of like Western cultures in general. Yeah. So, Oyibo side and all of that. And if you grow up in Nigeria and you speak English and you were taught in English as the main language of instruction, you know what that means, So that was the general idea behind Cola Nuts and Chardonnay. In the next project, it'll be something else. It'll probably be a bit more, rather than looking out, looking in. So yeah, might highlight a few other more personal sort of themes like that. But that's kind of how I go. But when it comes to collaboration with other people, like on other people's songs, I usually let them lead. If it's their songs that they've invited me to, I let them lead, and whatever thematic things that they're wanting to express, I tap into that.
When's your next show in New Zealand?
The 25th of May.
25th of May. We're outside.
Africa Day. I know easy to go outside.
We're outside.
Yeah, 25th of May, and it tells you Africa Day is going to be at Silo Park.
Oh.
It's a day event, am I right? Yeah.
We outside
25th
25th of May.
Day. It's a day event, isn't it? Yeah.
African Day. Not just Africans, everybody, right?
I mean, everybody's welcome, and it's usually like last year everyone was there, right? So
You all come and
but yeah,
Silo Park. I
you
don't know
get
where
a
that is.
slice of slice of the motherland, you know.
Come. We are extremely excited. Can you tell me who your favorite artist is?
So, there's been an argument. Well, I know see. So, picking up from where I left off in the argument, there is no one favorite artist.
Why?
It's impossible for me to
Like
have
me, I have
one
a favorite
artist. Who's your favorite artist?
Whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Whiskey or nothing.
Fair enough.
I listen to other artists.
Fair enough.
But there's this feeling when I hear Whiskey sound, if they play it
Right.
and I'll stand up.
Fair enough.
Just that feeling there. So
Okay.
there must be one artist you look up to.
Do you have a favorite ancestor?
Answer.
Ancestor. Do you
Yes.
have a favorite? One
Ugu.
favorite.
Ugu.
This guy.
God of Iron.
So, it almost feels like asking you to choose which parents you like more, or which of your grand or great grandparents or whatever you like.
don't know
more,
them, so I
you
don't
know. So, yeah, I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's a fair question to ask of artists, especially when people will be like me. Because it's like, who I go mention, leave the other one. You understand that kind of thing? There's so many different influences.
Mention Mars
that,
Boy, leave you. Mention Mars Boy and leave you.
So yeah, if you want to come like Nigeria, there's so many different artists who I listen to. I mean, I started off talking about Fela, right?
Yeah.
So, but there is Celestino. It would be unfair to not mention Celestino.
Yeah, mention 10
Celestino.
artists.
Okay, now you're talking. Now
Mention
you're
10
talking.
artists.
Make we share them like
Five
Niger,
African.
Niger, and then others. So I would say Celestine Oku, in no particular order. Celestine Oku, let's do a mix of old and recent, So, let's see, Onye Konwenu or Omaomi, like in that region. Like, so, Onye Konwenu, Omaomi, generationally, right?
Yeah.
That sort of, yeah. Then, I guess in that same vein, so let's see, I'm cheating already. Celestine Oku, eventually you have younger people like Flavor, you understand, people where they carry the touch, or even a torch, or even like Ejima 042. Recent people who I listen to will be saying, like, definitely Asha. Asha.
Okay, Asha.
Yeah. So again, if you want to follow that tradition of Asha, then you get people way day before her, you get people way don't come since after her, you know, that kind of thing, you know. Jesus, it gets really, really tricky from here. There's hip hop artists like them Mod 9, and then eventually them Olamide. Like there's ancestry, bro. Like the tree they go like this, you know. And I don't already use up for cheat safe, and I still never. It's like who I go put for 5th position now. So I guess the whole lineage of the Wizkid Afrobeat sound. So that whole lineage, if you trace them back to like Plantation Boys before them, if you trace them back even further to like thinking about the 70s version of and all of that. So them, what's his face? The guy was saying Time Na Money. That's era. Yes, that generation. All the people we do waiting if you call Afro pop before them Wizkid. If you trace all that down to them Wizkid, and eventually since Wizkid, there've been amazing younger artists as well. Them Rema and all of those who have gone on to do similar stuff. So see that range. See, there's hip hop, and I didn't even mention the Cavemen.
You listen to Cavemen,
bruh. Like bro. It's unfair to say, you know.
That's when Wizkid.
See, exactly. Who you they listen to if you don't?
When Wizkid came out and said, all African artists are not Afrobeat artists, I was so happy.
Exactly.
Because that's why Cavemen did not go viral. But like someone like Davido knew what those meant. He featured them in his album Whiskey took them to Tottenham Stadium to perform. Those men are good. Hey, have you heard videos?
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. Like, so
Sure, yesterday I was listening to Kevin.
Baba, like there's so many, and these are all different genres.
Shout out
as well.
to K's. See, I'm your biggest fan. No, I'm Whiskey's biggest fan. I can't cheat on Whiskey. So when you talk about
you get
non-Africans,
it, what I mean?
yeah.
Like these are all different genres. Same thing if I were thinking about like non-African influences. Baba, we talked about these, and I didn't even mention influences from Southern Africa or Central Africa or East Africa. All of the things we grew up listening to them. Hugh Masekela, the Miriam Makeba, Brenda Fassie. I don't know whether I pronounced her name right, but Yvonne Chaka Chaka.
Yeah, hey.
Plenty. Before you go Central, can't go East. Anywho, if you go the other side, Baba Stevie Wonder, Stevie, ooh, I'm a huge Stevie fan. So if you go Stevie, if you go people around his peers, so Donna Hathaway, is it Donna? Donnie? Jeez, Don.
Don something.
Hathaway though, like Lala Hathaway's father. So yeah, if in peers, and then subsequent people will come under the. And they follow him in footsteps. Yeah, so then Wyan Morris of Boyz II Men, then Brian McKnight, then Take Six. Well, Take Six before them, these guys, New Edition before them. It's like that whole range, right, of soul and R&B. Yeah, them. Yeah. Then you have, if you think hip hop, you think I am personally thinking, I'm a huge Nas fan. So there's Nas, there is. Again, his peers, the 90s, that particular range of I want to say like New York, them, so them Jigga, Jay-Z, and Notorious B.I.G. obviously.
Notorious B.I.G.
On the West Coast, then Tupac, and the NWA before them, like that whole, the usuals, right?
So if you're
the less, hang on, the less known. Not lesser known, but more like the lesser mainstream, lesser, pop ones and all of those. So people like, come off the road. So, is it gone now? Is it gone now? Are we good for sound?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're
so,
good. Using mic.
So yeah, like Ghostface Killer and a whole lot of, rap artists that I listen to, including the goofier ones like them Busta Rhymes, them Missy Elliott, and all of that. So but hip hop.
You're mentioning like 50 artists.
Yes, this is what you do. This is what you do when you're me. So then you think about Aretha Franklin. So soul, like proper soul, no be R&B influence, no be So think of soul, Aretha Franklin. You think of what's her name? At last. My world has come on. Oh, Jesus, what's it? No, they talk about the old school, like the people. Oh, Jesus, well before her. Hey, Chineke, this thing will kill me. So Ella Fitzgerald is another one of her peers. I'll come back to her when I remember her name. Yeah. Jesus, why can't I remember her name? Where Beyonce act for a film, play her in a biopic. Anyway, never mind. So all of the soul goddesses, right? All of them. So, and then that's so. Then if I think about like more pop, there's also pop influence as well. So obviously there's Beyonce, there's all of the big pop artists, Michael Jackson, who do a lot of singing as well as performance. So again, lineage-wise, Usher, Chris Brown, and all the other people, we follow them in their performance thingy. And then of course there's, for me personally now, recent times, since being here, there's heaps of Maori musicians that I've come to appreciate. Yes. So if you're talking like nowadays, you've got people like Stan Walker who are doing the thing. But when I first came to New Zealand, I heard this. I was privileged to watch Rhea Hall perform, and her voice blew me away. So you've got people like Rhea Hall, people like them. There's this lovely gentleman that I've jammed with. Lawton Cora, so the Cora brothers, and just so many amazing voices that I've heard around here. So Maori and Pacifica artists that I've been able to either see perform live or that sort of thing. And just even listening to say traditional Maori music as well. and being like, damn, y'all can sing. Feeling a similar feeling to when I first heard epic songs when we moved to Calabar, and jeez, bruh. So, but about the influences, they three much. How you want to pick one? You know, it's like
just pick whiskey and come. So if you have to settle the fight between J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick, who would you pick?
That fight doesn't have to be settled. It shouldn't be settled. That's what hip hop is about. It's supposed to be. It's a prideful thing, according to Shavina Jay-Z talked about some time ago. It's a prideful thing. It's a very, very healthy sparring. Exactly. It sucks when it gets to the dark side. You know? No. When it goes to the dark side, which is like the East Coast West Coast beef of the '90s, right? But I think it's hip hop has allowed itself evolve since then, like significantly. Everybody just keep their eyes on the bag now, you know, and stuff. So that healthy jousting, they very necessary. More personally, I listen to Kendrick Lamar like medicine, like, you know, you have to take it.
I listen to Jekyll like medicine
to get well. You know, you have to take it to get well. You're a great fan. Do you see what I mean? So it's like they all scratch different itches, right? True. So for me personally, again, that J. Cole is great, yeah. Kendrick for me is not just your lyricist. He's not just he's an artist. He creates.
There is no big three. It's just big me.
The guy, they create stuff, right? And also he takes performance really seriously. That's another thing. I haven't seen him live. He came to Oakland recently.
Serious?
Some of my mates got at the thing. Man, I'm more Agaram. People personally Agaram, but if you see clips on YouTube, he takes his performance seriously. He has choreographers choreograph. That's not your regular hip hop rap artist performing, right? It's just like a bunch of rappers and hype men all over the stage, you know. But Nyawa, he actually puts a lot of thought into his image, like the image on stage. There's composition. You're looking at really beautiful things as well as listening to his lyrics. So, props to the guy. Flowers, yeah.
So, in the UK rap, who would you pick?
I don't know very many UK rap artists.
Stormzy, Dave, Central C.
If I'm being honest, so like I know from the limited number that I have, I know that I used to love Kano. I don't know whether they pronounce his name right. It'd be like Kano State. Make I spell out, make everyone know. So Kano, like Kano or Kano, I don't know which one they call him. Yeah, and obviously Dave. I listened to some of his stuff. There's that song, I forget that song. It's just him on keys and him and keys as accompaniment. So yeah, I don't know very many others. Oh, Little Sims. Ooh, she is a beast. Yeah. So I don't know very many others, but the ones who I sabi.
If you want to feature any artist now, like God just came and said, call one artist, and I want you to feature them, who would you call? One. Don't look at your manager. One artist. One.
Dead or alive?
Alive. Why are you looking for dead? Something.
It's been done. People appear posthumously on other people's songs.
Somebody possible that you think is not possible.
Nah, I can't answer that one. Sorry.
This thought is, you have to let my people know. He has to tell us. Give me.
It would have to be a rapper. That's why I asked. You know. Dead
so
or
give
alive.
me dead or alive. Give me one artist.
Do Tumbom, Ini Mini Manio, any of those artists I've mentioned. Like, you know, when I used my 10 fingers.
Nah.
Any one of them. And the only name that hasn't appeared, that didn't appear on that list, are people that I've actually collaborated with, right? Yeah, so, but honestly, I could do this and land on any of those names, and it would.
You landed on Kanye West. Look at it, Kanye West.
I didn't mention him though.
Sorry, Jay-Z. You landed on Jay-Z.
Does he still rap?
I would love to see an Usher, you and Usher.
What's your manager telling you? Answer.
Okay, so that's actually a good way to go. It would be great if either the artists in question felt a connection to something and would want to work. I'd be open to that.
Who do you feel connected with
fans? There is no more, bro. I literally just told you.
Just say what-
There is
say-
no more. There is
your
no
manager
more
likes
of a
Asa.
connection.
Do you
Yeah,
want to feature?
so that's for her personally, right? That's who she would like to see me
Guy
work
is so hard to cry.
with. You know if you box me in, bro. I'm
Just-
free. I'm a free spirit.
just
yes,
give
I
me-
did fly.
Okay,
No, seriously.
okay, here in New Zealand now, who do you want to feature?
Oh, I would love to work with Rhea Hall. I would love to
Hey,
work with
Ray Hall, want to work with you?
I've jammed with Lawton Cora. I would love to jam, like actually do stuff.
Okay,
like
in Africa,
create
who do you
stuff.
want to work with?
Okay, because you're being really stubborn, obstinate child. I go say the caveman.
Caveman. Hey,
Because
I'm just imagining
either that or-
they won't even
or
they
it
won't
would have
even
to be a
record.
rapper.
They'll do it on live but
Yeah, yeah, it go make sense. I feel picture.
I have to go and test caveman. Caveman, please reply my DM. We want you here. Then when you talk about the England, Europe, who do you want to feature there?
It would have to be a rapper. Like honestly,
Don't you like
it
Adele?
would have to.
You be myself to
I haven't really listened to her catalog. Like I've heard the biggest songs, right? But I never actually play her catalog.
They
you know?
say fire.
But her voice is something.
That is cool. I'm here with the greatest manager of all time. Better than Pep Guardiola. She's here to tell us how they promote Nonso's art. So can we hear from you? What's your name?
My name's Makuka.
The greatest
Masoa.
manager, the
yes.
GOAT.
Yes. And I'm Chi Nonso's manager.
How long have you been working with him?
We've been working together for 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Yep. And promotion. So I do all of Chi Nonso's PR. The last project I did your PR together with someone else called Makanakatue. And
Makanaki.
yeah, and the promotion is going as good as it can for someone who is a new artist, new solo artist in the New Zealand music industry. It's like a step-by-step process, and I feel that we've done what we could. We're kind of working towards hitting every step. And is what I'm saying making sense?
Yeah, you're making it.
I'm trying to like answer this question as not like a PR person. Like I'm trying to answer it so it makes sense to someone who's not in that world. In terms of promotions and introducing Chi Nonso to the music industry, I think it's going well. I think we're at the beginning of our journey and we're taking every step to reach all our goals, which I believe we have reached. We've had, one of the goals was to have a radio interview, to be reviewed.
To be in the biggest show in New Zealand, which you're here now.
Yep, to be on a podcast. We're on a podcast now. Yeah.
The biggest.
And another goal was to showcase your music at a music showcase, which we did last year, Going Global. And so, at the beginning of every year, we just talk about what the goals are for the next year or the years to come, and we kind of just work step by step, eh?
We've got our eyes on that crossover, the linking up with the motherland and stuff like that.
It's not.
And we are very aware that it'll take time, and we're happy to just trust the process.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
So, what's one thing you don't like about No, what's one good thing you like about Nonso?
He kind of just does his thing. Like, he lets me be a manager.
Let him be the artist.
Yeah, we kind of just, I think we work well
You wouldn't
together.
have answered because this is a trap. So you're gonna give me 5 things you don't like about Nonso.
All right.
Like she has been ready. She has been ready for this question. She's like, all right, let's go.
Pull out the sheet of paper.
Okay, wait.
No, I do. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I don't think about the bad things.
No, you have to. You're his manager.
like
This is the only opportunity you have to say
I feel like in
Spill it out.
a manager-artist relationship, you can't like focus on the negative things, eh? You like talk about it that day and then
Say
you
it.
move on.
Say it. What are the things
Right?
you keep doing that you're like,
Well, the one thing. Wait, let me think about it.
she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. Like, the
no,
one
no.
thing. Let me just say it.
Let
Say
me think about it. Let me
The
think
vein
about
on your
it.
forehead is showing. You're like, you want to say it? Because he's going to say things about
Honestly,
you. So say
I
it.
can't think of anything.
No, so over to you. One good thing you like about her.
There are lots of good things.
No, just one. You didn't. Just one.
Can you hear me enough? So Mukuka.
Wait.
Wait, she can
Oh,
look
wait.
at the mic. Just pull it up. You can hold it.
So
Yeah.
Mukuka is that classic calm that you need when the sky's falling.
Oh.
So the sky's falling all around you. You know how these things go. You plan for stuff and then you have to keep updating that plan because not everything goes to plan usually. So as things change and sometimes they change so close to a deadline that it can create anxiety.
True.
You can always trust Mukuka to very calmly tell you
Sort
what the
it
thing
out.
is and tell you not to worry about the things that you don't need to worry about because she's got it, and when she says she's got it, she's actually got it. And then the things that you need to do yourself, she will calmly tell you what those things are and ask you to do it and say that she trusts in you, she believes that you can do it, and then you go off and you're like, oh yeah, of course, Mukuka believes in me, I can do this. You know, that sort of thing. So that is the best aspect of this connection. So Mukuka,
5 things you don't like about her. Say it.
this guy, see,
Say it.
your negativity no fit touch us like, bruh, we don't do that, bruh.
Are you hearing this video?
Your reggae no fit
5
spoil our
things.
blues.
Say it.
Your
Say
reggae
it.
cannot spoil our blues.
Say it. 5 things.
Honestly, if you, this is, I'm just going to act like an old man, an old father here and say, if you're working with anyone and you keep listing things about them that you don't like and that you don't want to work with, it might be time to review, reevaluate that relationship. And so, like, I can't think of if there's anything strong enough for me to have a list, then we probably wouldn't be doing this. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's been really great.
We're not happy. We know
doing this.
we love violence. You're just giving us peace. We don't like peace.
I wanted. Can I say something?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I second that in saying that they are probably things that I've done or haven't done that have kind of like maybe like ticked you off, maybe like just a tad, and vice versa, but we don't think about it. The only thing I can think of is we both have freak out moments, but do you get me? We both have freak out moments. Like that when you had to go
Pick up
and
the
pick
clothes
up
and
your
the
outfits.
costumes.
Yeah, you had a panic moment, but in my head I was just like, okay, it's fine. Like
Classic calm in the
Yeah.
middle of the storm.
We don't like this. We like
I was
violence.
just like
Okay, so here's another thing that just riding on the back of that thing. It's about how you manage conflict, right? So conflict has arisen, and I think that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Conflict does come up, right? So whether it's trying to make a decision, whether it's like, you know, like I said, shit hitting
My
the fan.
manager will stone you glass cup. He will stone me
But
camera.
I don't do toxic. I don't do toxic.
I know that's
engagements,
that
right?
energy.
So like, yeah, for me it's about how do we resolve conflicts. Do I feel safe enough in this connection that I'm able to bring conflict to the table and know that I will be understood, and vice versa, that she will be understood when she brings up conflict. So we're able to review what we've done, and it's not all that I don't think there's ever been any project we've done so far where it's been 100% perfect or gone to the direction that we wanted. It's gone really south sometimes, like really, really, really south, where this was the plan and everything just went the other way.
yeah.
But being able to come back and talk about it from the point of view of here's what we've learned, like this is the teachable moment in this for me, this is what I'd like to do differently, this is what I'd like to see done differently, that being able to do that, that's for me, that's the goal. That's why I'm lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I have one more thing.
Oh.
Okay, the other thing is whatever either conflict or situation that comes up, I think there's an unspoken understanding of the bigger picture.
Oh yes.
And it's like, is this thing really worth the 2 years that we've been working together and the plans that we have coming up? And for me personally, I'm like, nah, like it's,
You don't throw away the baby with the bathwater.
yeah. And I think that's why it's hard to say things that we find annoying about working with each other, because there's a bigger picture.
Yep.
True.
And it's kind of beyond us in a way.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
actually possible. I guess that's the bottom line of it. Long and short, and I say it is possible. It is very, very possible to have really healthy relationships, really healthy business relationships where you can actually talk as adults and sort out, resolve conflicts without it, devolving or anything like that.
I hope my manager is watching this. Wherever you are, watch this.
But
True.
also,
So what's your message like other managers out there? But artists can be so messy, can be so annoying.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell the rest managers out there, like how to cope with those annoying artists?
Well, maybe I answer it from like what an artist, what might help a manager is, as an artist, to think about your music and your art as work. If you do have a manager, just respecting their time and, like, don't come to shows high, or, like, if like a studio session's been booked for you, if possible, like, do whatever you gotta do, but if there's paid, be professional. If like if time is paid for, if 8 hours is paid for the studio, depending on how you got to pay that time. If it was funded, for example, like, just come in, do the work, let everyone get paid, no drama. If you're funding it yourself, then great, do all that stuff. And kind of just let your manager do their thing, and hopefully they let you do your thing to focus on music. And just like checking in. I think before we released Cola Nuts and Chardonnay, I think it was a year of just like goal setting and like getting to know each other and figuring out if we actually work well together. I think as a manager, I think you should care about the art that they make.
People don't know you will be like, because he's a musician also, that's why she's saying this.
No. I mean, that does help. That does help the situation. Because I understand.
It's actually blessed for you to have her, because sometimes you'll be in the studio and your head is like, bro, she knows what to do. That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
She knows from experience, yes.
Yeah. I think that's the upside of it, is because I'm a musician as well, so I understand the heart of it.
Music.
Do you get me? Like, I understand what it feels like to have this thing that you want.
Have you ever been in a situation where you are like, you're dumbfounded, you don't know what to do?
Oh yeah, all the time. I just pretend. I just pretend. I'm like, okay, give me a minute. I'll just go find out, and then I'll like call someone or like Google it.
See that?
No,
Do you get me?
there's this thing that people have in me. They'll be like, David, Erons, living for him.
Yeah.
You'll be like, I've never solved this issue before. You don't know where to start from. And the fact is that I don't know whether it's God. But God is just helping me, and I'll just be like, I did it, but I don't know.
You don't know how it happened. Yeah. I honestly, I don't know how many times I've said to you, like, I actually don't know. I need to find out. And I'm so open to like
that vulnerability is part of what
saying I don't know.
What makes, I guess, this connection work, where it's like she's able to be open. She know they hide her hand. You understand?
True.
She's like, this is it. This is where you know exactly where you stand with her, and that's very, very.
No, I've worked with somebody that will be like, I got it covered. Don't worry. I got it covered. Do your thing. Concentrate.
And then they don't actually.
And me, I hate. You see what they call embarrassment. I hate it. Cancel it. Don't embarrass me. And you'll be like, I got it covered. And you get there, and you'll be like, wait, you got it. Don't you trust me? Wait. and you be like, you the whole world is watching you disgrace yourself. Nah, I don't like that. It's better you tell me I can do it. Then we put our head. Two heads are better than one. We put our head together and serve it. Then you give me high hopes. Well, she doesn't give you high hope.
Yeah, you
It's
definitely
all, like,
have to leave your ego.
realistic. Exactly, it's all realistic. Like, these are the boundaries of, or rather the limits of what we know so far, what we can do, but I do know where to begin to look, to ask questions in order to see how we can expand that, you know?
True.
Yeah, nothing beats
I need second Mukaka in my life.
Mukuka. You need to learn my name. It's Mukuka. Yeah.
You that is actually Mukaka. True. So, what's your question? Like, what's your advice to young artists that are coming out there?
Advise yourself. I don't get advice.
This guy
I don't get advice, Joe. Like, everybody they different. Everybody path they different. So you will figure it out.
is it that,
will-
that
you
I
will
don't
figure
believe
it
that
out.
word. Give us advice. Give us advice.
There's no how do you say it? Like, there's no one size fits all approach or anything. It will all have to be tailored, like custom made to your needs as an artist. It will be custom made to your goals and all of those. But if there was one thing that I would say, make it really clear, it's what your goals are, and then be flexible enough to allow that to evolve and for you to evolve with it as well. So there are so many different brands of artistry, and there is enough space in the world for all of them to coexist. So, just if you decide on who you are, then you will have a really good experience it will be easier to set goals and actually meet those goals if you decide on who you are as an artist, what you want your art to be about. And if at some point you feel like that has changed, you've changed, we don't wear the same skin throughout. You keep growing, growing into your skin or out of your skin sometimes. As that changes, it's okay. It's very okay to allow your brand or artistry to change as well, to evolve. Just.
Are you a full-time manager, or you are like you have work, or you just do music full-time?
So music is full time. I manage 4 artists, and then I do PR and project management for our other artists that I don't manage. So it's full time. It's hard as hell, but yes, it is full time.
What about you? He doesn't want to say.
This guy will kill you. No, it's not like I don't want to say. I guess it's part of that thing I said about different ways, different paths to artistry. I think of myself as a full-time artist, but I make music as well as do other things that pay for the music.
True.
So yeah, before I got exactly. I know I got whole school.
Translate that in Igbo.
If you want, I could do this whole thing in Igbo self, and I'm going to put subtitles. Anyway, but yeah, seriously, like you know how I talked about NYSC earlier.
Yeah.
I actually, my very first paycheck was in teaching, and I've been a teacher since, and when I'm not singing, I'm teaching. So
Why don't you teach music then?
I do not have the music literacy for that. Like, I can't translate, transcribe or write or read sheet music.
You just know the music.
I play music by ear. And yeah, so which like I said, is really difficult. It can be difficult to communicate then to a player who, especially those who've got like degrees in like jazz music and stuff, like so my style now, da 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 da, your turn, and then they play, that sort of thing. So yeah, I couldn't. I guess like, yeah, there's the vocal aspect as well, I guess. But yeah, I teach and I've taught a bunch of different things. I started out teaching drama, which is where the performance thing comes from. Then English. Well, English as to speakers of other languages. So people where they learn English as second language, yeah. And then English proper, like they do it in the New Zealand curriculum here. So yeah, those are the hats that I put on outside of music, but I don't think, it's hard for me to say. It's like asking me if I'm a full-time teacher. Of course I'm a full-time teacher. I've got a son, so I do teach him, even when I'm not teaching people who pay to get taught. So even when I'm not making music, like out there putting music out or on stage performing,
singing.
I am a musician, right? I still work on stuff and I develop them. I edit, what I've worked on. I record. There's a whole bunch of recordings that will probably never get released. So there is that. That is the behind the scenes, I guess, of the life of an artist, just like a painter or a sculptor. Yeah, exactly. It's not all the things that you make that eventually get published, right? So in that sense, yes, I am a musician.
It's been a great day here having Chi Nonso with us, and we listened to. He told us many things we have to learn and things we need to know about the industry. I'm so glad he's so humble. It's very humble. But he's so humble. And the last thing he's going to give us, we're going to hear his angelic voice. Things you don't have to see in other shows, you're seeing it on my show, bro. So he's going to freestyle for us, and let's hear it. Can you just give us like 30 seconds?
If I didn't let you know that I was hurting in my bones and arteries, say, would you have known to even read that? If it hadn't been that I happened on a pen for take rewrite my story, wouldn't you have stayed being writer and me black? If I'd put away my pride, gouged out my eyes, jotted from my eye, remained a happy guy, wouldn't you overlook the fire hanging from the sky of the top night, oh night, oh hey.